Hello, darling. No, I didn't sell the Lightning. It has been in storage at my parents' house up at the lake for the whole winter. And it is now almost late April. It's time to get this thing out. I'm ready to drive it again. Sounds easy, right? Unfortunately, it's in the lower garage at my parents' house. And my dad convinced me that I would be able to get it down here and then get it out, no problem. So I parked my truck down here. He parked his truck up there. And just as a test, I attempted to back it up as I was bringing it down here, and we immediately started losing traction right here. So long story short, I don't know if this thing is gonna drive right out of here, but let's hook the battery up, see if it starts up, maybe get some momentum up the hill, and if not, I brought the Superduty. So we're pulling this thing out. It's coming out of here one way or another. Man, I've missed this thing though. Shoo! Oh yeah. No signs of critters. It's a brand new garage. I wouldn't expect any signs of critters, but you know, never hurts to check. Oil is full and looks good. Unhook the negative. Did I leave the keys in it? Yes, sure did. We're in business. Let's hook that battery up. Hopefully we see a little bit of spark left in this thing. Oh yeah. That's good enough for now. It's tight-ish. I don't know, see what happens. Take a peek under, actually. Any leaks? This thing didn't have any leaks before. I don't see why it would now. Bone dry. Expedition center console, looking good as ever. Hello. Oh, it must have been cold when I showed up here. Back in December or whenever that was. Alright, let's see. A little bit of a backfire. Oh, I forgot how loud this thing was. Not going so well. That's what we're up against.
Got about halfway. Halfway there.
Got the Superduty. Truck number 2. That was all she got. I thought having some speed might help, but was I like going sideways?
Yes.
Like coming up? Nice job. I think we did it. I think it was just the rope shifting on the ball. Well, it came off, but we're not missing any body parts, so that was fun. All right, will it move right now? Will it move right now? Yeah, you're good. Oh yeah. That's good. That's good right there. Shoo! Forgot how good this thing looks. Now, where is that kid? Some expert parenting right there. That is not a baby changing table. I don't know. What is? Got the L. Got the old YZ loaded up. Good to go. Well, that was interesting. Called that one back in December. I think it was December when I put it in there. Like I said, I just did a little test on the hill there, and the rear wheels immediately started slipping, and I said, you know what? This is a future Chris problem, an April Chris problem, and now it's April. But the old Super Duty back there, where are you? There we are. I piloted the Super Duty. My wife sat here. I said, don't do anything. Just leave it in reverse. Don't touch the gas. Just make sure it doesn't fall off the edge of the, side of the driveway there or the path, and do nothing else. Hit the brakes when you get to the top, and she did great. So lightning is out. Headed back to southern New Hampshire now, and this thing is filthy. Definitely needs a bath, and eventually we need to get into a paint correction on this thing. Late last summer, my buddy Ben and I repainted like half this truck, added the cowl hood, added the Cervini spoiler, but there's a little bit of orange peel and some defects, and the whole truck, I've washed this thing like 3 times in the over a year that I've owned it. The whole truck needs the Chris Sullivan, paint correction. And I think it's time for us to do it, but I don't know if it's going to be in this video. In this video, I have had this YouTube channel for, I think, at least 4 years at this point, and I've never done like a full video showing all of my vehicles, like a fleet update, if you will. I want to get a sick picture in the driveway of all of my vehicles out at once, which I've never done. And I think the goal is going to be to kind of talk about what's up with all of them, what the plans are we keeping it, are we selling it, and maybe drive each and every one, except for one, which you guys may or may not have already seen on this channel, but we'll at least talk about it. So, Chris Sullivan Fleet Update 2025. I don't know, let's get into it. It's going to be tomorrow at this point, but let's get this thing home and start getting some vehicles outside. It's spring, baby. It's time to get the toys out. Good morning, next morning, and if we're gonna get through this fleet video, we gotta get started right away. So I'm trying to head to the gym, so I think we're gonna take the C8 Z06. So let's fire this thing up, get a quick workout in. Man, the Lightning needs a bath. It got hammered in the rain and on the dirt road last night. All right, workout time. Well, that's the C8 in a nutshell, C8 Z06. You guys just saw the last video on this car. We did the Fab Speed Motorsports Cat Delete pipes, and this thing just sounds like all hell has broken loose. So rowdy. Although shortly after I finished that video, we got a little problem. Uh-oh. Yeah, the check engine light came on, I don't know, 50 miles after we finished the install of the Cat Delete pipes, which some guys say you get it, some guys say you don't. I did use those mini cats, which were supposed to prevent that from happening, but I don't know. I think that what I'm gonna do, first of all, is make sure it's even related to that. I haven't even scanned the code yet, and assuming it is, you know, maybe check, make sure we don't have any leaks, make sure everything's nice and tight. I know that the computer is super sensitive to exhaust leaks, so we want to make sure we don't have anything like that. But other than that, this thing is ripping. So much fun to drive. Very loud when you want it to be, and very quiet when you want it to be. So having a blast with this car so far this season. This is pretty much the only one that I got out. Hey buddy, how are you? Broke his neck. Well, yeah, as of right now, I don't have any major mods planned for this car. I pretty much knocked out everything I wanted to do in the last couple videos, but that can always change. You know, we'll see. All right, back from the gym. That is the C8 Z06 2024 Riptide Blue Metallic. I think I've got 1,500, 1,600-ish miles on it. We did some lowering collars in the front, cranked down the rear coilovers, did spacers in the rear to get them flush with the quarter. Last video we did the Fab Speed Cat Delete. What else have I done to this thing? Tinted the windows, did the C7, or I'm sorry, the cannot talk today, Z07 style front splitter. So stance on this thing is definitely right. 3LZ package with, you know, yellow stitching, Got the carbon steering wheel, Alcantara center console and headliner up there. Got the comp seats, which are super comfortable, tons of bolster support. Kind of difficult to get into, but you know, I love it. The yellow and the blue just really pops. Got the yellow calipers, carbon ceramics all around. Of course, you got the LT6. I opted for the red intake manifold and the engine lighting package, which, you know, can barely see there, but it's there. Yeah, she's a ripper. So up next, I think I'm gonna go get my Mercedes, which I left at work yesterday. My wife picked me up, and then we grabbed the Lightning. But while we wait for her to be ready, let's get the dirt bike out of the truck bed. Then when we get back with the Mercedes, we'll talk about the truck. Here's the old YZ04 steel frame 250F. Had it since, I think, 2020. My first dirt bike. I owned street bikes growing up. You know, spent a lot of time on two wheels, but this is the first dirt scooter, root digger I've ever had. Don't have nearly enough time to ride it, but I think I paid 1,400 bucks for it back in 2020. And it's always started and been solid for me, so I've kept it around. It's too cheap to get rid of it, even if it sits a lot. So let's see if it'll kick over. I definitely did not winterize it or do anything that I was supposed to do, so we'll see what happens. Rebuilt the carb like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Plastics aren't the prettiest, but I mean, what do you want for 1,400 bucks? I gotta ride more this year. All right, let's go get the Benz. We are in the Benz, the AMG. Disappeared from the channel for a while. And I'm driving it, but it is not fixed. I wanted to get a sweet highway merge here, but we're getting on the highway behind a dump truck hauling a mini excavator. Still sounds good, even broken. Man, it's nice out today. AC's coming on. All right, guys, so the deal with the Mercedes is it's been broken for a long time. And I guess I use the term broken loosely because here we are cruising it. And I've been driving it for the past, I don't know, 4 months. A lot of you guys already know what's going on, but the quick and dirty backstory is in January of 2024, so almost a year and a half ago now, this thing started misfiring on the highway. I had to get it towed home, and I've been kind of working on it on and off for the past year or so. Although, you know, I kind of abandoned it from like April until September or so last year. But basically, the car misfires between 1,500 and 2,000 RPM. Revs fine, quick revs. No problem. Idle's perfect, even the check engine light's gone. And you just hold the RPM at like 1500. Like someone hits a switch. Runs like crap, check engine light flashes until you shut it off and do it again. And I've discovered through many hours of diagnosis that if you unplug the cam solenoids, any one of them, it puts the car into some mode probably where it doesn't use variable valve timing and the car runs perfectly. I've been driving it for a few months now. I'll probably put 1,000 miles on it, to and from work, around town, here and there, and it drives great. I'm doing 80 miles an hour right now, no hands on the wheel, drives smooth. I have a check engine light, which is obviously for a cam position solenoid circuit, but other than that, it runs great. It's got tons of power, but I would assume the variable valve timing is disabled. As soon as you go to plug that thing back in and rev it to 1500, it falls on its face, shuts down those cylinders, goes into limp mode. And I've done, I think, 4 videos on trying to diagnose this thing, basically getting nowhere other than learning, what I've just told you. So I decided a little while back, A, I'm tired of letting the car sit. I'm just gonna unplug the cam position or the cam solenoid and drive it so that it's not just sitting, rotting away. And B, I really don't want to make any more videos on it until I have some solid, concrete progress. I mean, it's not very exciting content when I'm sitting there on a laptop scrutinizing data and really not getting anywhere. It's just hours and hours of, trying to figure out what's going on. It just does not make for good content. So it's kind of taken a back seat again, just because I've been driving it every day. But I have recently ordered some parts or some diagnostic equipment to help me hopefully figure out what's going on here and remedy this misfire problem that I at this point believe is related to the variable valve timing. I've got some ideas of things we can try. I've got some new equipment coming. Really take a deep dive in this thing and see if we can't figure it out. But I just miss driving it. I love this car. I was tired of driving my Superduty every day. This is a little bit easier to just hop in, cruise, do 80, 85 down the highway, and no worries. So it seems to drive fine with the cam solenoid unplugged, so that's what I've been doing. But other than that, not too much changed. I hit 69,000 miles. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Nice. So this car has low miles, is fairly loaded up E63, last of the big 6.2 liter V8s. It's a very special car, and it's special to me. So I'd love to get it back to 100% here, and I think that's going to happen shortly. But other than that, really no updates on this car, but hope to have some good ones soon. But let's get back to the garage, see if we're going to mess with this more or get into another vehicle. Do a little second gear roll, sans variable valve timing, on snow tires. I love this car. Just an old German saloon. It sounds insane. There's nothing that sounds like this car. It's just got oh, it revs quick. Whop, whop. Shoo! And people wonder why I haven't sold it or given up on it. Like, it's just this W212 with the M156 is a rare car, and they are just, it's just awesome. I've been damn close, but I'm not giving up yet. Well, there she is. You've seen it in the background in a bunch of videos. Still here. Still kind of broken, but maybe we can change that soon. Okay, so these 3.5 are down. Technically, we already rode in the Lightning. We'll see if we have time to do anything else to that. I gotta move my 2017 SureTrack car trailer that hauls all my projects and everything else behind the arborvitae here. It's been on the driveway because it's been too wet over there. And I think by now you guys will have already seen the first Marauder video, so we'll get to that here in a second. Definitely can't drive that one, but still have to film that video. We'll get there. But let's get in the truck, move this trailer, and then we'll take this thing for a quick drive. Or talk about what it needs anyways. See? Moister than an oyster over here. All right, we're in the Superduty, the tow pig. This is a 2018 F350 Platinum with the now legendary 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel. And I bought it as a leftover, brand new in 2018, or brand new 2018 leftover in March of 2019. So I've had it 6 years now, and we are at 32,300 miles. So I really don't drive this thing that much. It mostly sits on the side of the garage and waits for me to need to tow something. I think this truck has a computer that can tell you, in the computer it will tell you how many miles you've towed, and of the 32,000, I think like 16 or 17,000 of those have been with a trailer behind it. So that's pretty much what I use it for. Of course, Home Depot runs, landscaping stuff. Once you've owned a truck, you'll never not own a truck, I like to say, just because they're so useful. I don't drive it a lot, but when you need it, you need it. So right now we're just doing a quick coffee run, get a little bit of Dunkin' Donuts to get us through the afternoon. Is it gonna rain? Don't love that. Looks real dark over there. Anyways, let's grab a couple iced coffees and talk about this thing real quick. All right, coffees acquired. So here's the Superduty. I apologize, it's kind of embarrassing. She is absolutely filthy, but I obviously did the 2020 plus front end swap on this thing, the OEM Sport black housing headlights, OEM Platinum grille that I paint match black, paint match valance. Back when I first got the truck in 2019, paint matched the Platinum emblems, the mirrors, the door handles, tinted taillights, tinted third brake light. Had my buddy wrap the Platinum plaque in gloss black. God, the truck is dirty. But other than that, she's deleted, tuned. I did Bilsteins last spring, and I still think it's a great looking truck. Needs a little bit of paint work here. This is since started peeling, 5-6 years old now, but that's on the list to do this year. But yeah, that's how she's looking right now. Inside was clean until I let the wife drive it, but that's what these floor mats are for. I mean, it's deleted. It sounds pretty good for what it is. If I put this rear window down, maybe you can hear it. I'll insert a better exhaust clip outside, maybe when we did a burnout or something after these Bilsteins. Not my best. I think that's the first burnout I've ever done in this truck. And because mud tires are really expensive. And all my other vehicles do way better burnouts anyway. But the one thing that's missing right now, and it's about that time of year, is putting on my summer wheels, which was a set of 24x12 American Force Genesis with a set of 35-inch, I think they were Fury mud terrains on them. I also bought, like 2 months after I got the truck, put them on when the truck had like 1,500 miles on it. So that has been my summer wheel set, my summer bro setup. This is the 12 wides on the 2-footers, and it's always looked, to me, look badass. But I mean, you guys are car guys too, you know, people like to change up wheels sometimes every other week. So I basically had those wheels and tires for 6 years. And even though to me they still looked awesome, I was like, maybe we could change it up a little bit this year. Not only to change wheels, but also the mud tire noise was starting to get to me. I think you guys have probably seen a couple of my videos where we're going to get a project car in this thing with the mud tires on it, and it just whoa, 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 down the road. So they look sick, but they're loud. So I put the wheels and tires up. They probably had they probably had 15,000 miles on them at least. And some kid came and bought them for his brand new Super Duty, and they're gonna look sick. But I was like, okay, now I'll order a new set of forged wheels. But it turns out lead times on them right now are like 18 weeks or something like that. So I got to get some of those on order. I might grab something like not forged, like in stock, that I could put on like for the next couple months, just to, just so we don't have to roll around on stock wheels. But we'll see. Either way, we will be getting another set of sick wheels for this truck. But right now I have the stock Platinum 20s on there with, I replaced the Michelins as soon as I bought this truck with, I think they're Nitto, they're Nitto Terra Grappler 285s. But yeah, other than repainting the mirrors, a couple other things that have, chipped over the years, we'll get some new wheels and a good cleanup. This truck is perfect. To replicate this truck in a 2020, I've looked at getting a new truck, even though this thing only has 30,000 miles on it. But to get a 2025 Platinum Super Duty in this spec with all the options that I have on this thing is literally 100 grand. So I still think the truck looks badass. It's never given me any problems. Low mileage, has everything I want. I'm just gonna run this thing for now. Get another set of sick wheels, and this will continue to be the tow rig. An afternoon nectar. So that's it. That's a Super Duty. Let's see what's next. I took the T-tops off this thing a week ago and have not put them back on. That's what this car was built for. T-tops off, cruising. So this is my 2001 Trans Am WS6. If you guys have not been following this series, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, we did a cam, long tubes, brand new wheels and tires, brakes, suspension, cleaned up the engine bay, repaired some cosmetics, repainted some stuff twice. And this thing is fully mint now. But technically, it's not even really mine anymore. If you guys watched the last video on this car, you know that it actually is going to Texas to its new owner. As much as I would love to keep this thing, it is basically my dream WS6. If you can't already tell from this video, I don't even know how many cars I have at this point, but I only have 4 garage bays. And this car is far too nice to sit outside. And I originally purchased it with the intent to eventually flip it. We made a little bit of money. The cost breakdown is in the last video if you guys are interested in that. Definitely check it out. But absolutely beautiful car. I've had such a blast cruising it, all done the last couple weeks. So it's going to be a tough one to let go, but need a bigger garage. Need a warehouse is what I need. Almost losing the Facebook Marketplace deal here, which is the 60-40 split out of the Lightning. I did that Expedition center console and no longer need that, you know, flip up bench seat. Put it on Facebook just to see if someone might need it, and some guy says he's coming to get it, so one less thing in my basement. So there's the WS6. God, I hate to sell this thing. But yeah, she's mint front to back, top to bottom, mechanically, interior. Super nice. So WS6, check. We drove it, checked it out. Whole build series on it. Check it out if you want. But let's move on to the 69 Camaro. All right, everything is uncovered. 2025 season, engage. 69 Camaro and C8 or C6 Z06. Man, it is always good to see stuff come out from under the cover after a long ass winter. Look at this lineup. Man, we should have got the C8 in here, but LS based, 5.3 punched out to basically a 6.0, Gen 4, Gen 4 LS3, and the granddaddy, Gen 1 LS1. What else do you want? All three with big old cams in them. America. Up next, 1969 Camaro. Built this car on the channel, I don't know, 2022. LS3. All done up, cam, long tubes, intake. What did this thing make on the dyno? The turbo mic last year, 520 something? I don't know, I'll have to find the dyno sheet or the dyno pull, but. She is rowdy. 1 7/8 long tubes to a 3-inch X pipe and some comedically loud Amazon mufflers that I put on there, 3 inches all the way back. She's a hoot. I think these are 20 by 9.5 in the rear. Weld Venturas, Willwoods in the back, and then 19 by 8 or 9, I think. Yeah, she's a fun ride. 69 is out for the first time this year. Battery was a little bit low, but it's to be expected. So change of plans. Facebook guy was a little bit late, so I'm gonna load the Lightning Center seat into that thing and we'll go meet him right now. We got the Lightning Center console. Inside we got Corvo buckets. I think these are TMI door panels, custom center console, TMI dash pad. This is my 12.3-inch Holley digital dash that I custom mounted inside the factory style bezel there. Hurst 6-speed, the T56 or TR6060 from Diesel Bro from the 2010 Camaro that I robbed the drivetrain out of is in here. Other than that, just a clean factory black interior. Got some kicker 6x9s in the back there. Yeah, let's go meet this guy. This thing is snappy though. I missed this thing. Clutch is a little different. I guess that's what happens when you drive 6 or 7 or 8 different vehicles in one day. You got to get used to a bunch of different clutches and gas pedals and everything else. That. What is that? This test drive might be over. You got a brake or something making noise. What is that? Does not sound good. Got something hanging up. We'll go take something else. We got to look at this thing. That was a quick test drive. She's rowdy though. I don't know if that's a wheel bearing or I feel like there's something going on with the rotor over there. I'll have to look, but I'm not willing to risk it getting any worse. So we'll come back to this thing in a second. I gotta go meet this guy. All right, well, I guess it's only fitting we're back in the Lightning, going to sell a Lightning part, but I just asked this guy what he's driving, and he said a green motorcycle. So we'll see if this guy's got a sidecar or he's planning on sitting on this. You know, this is the 60/40 like flip up seat. Like, I don't know how you're gonna fit that on a motorcycle, or maybe he's got a massive backpack, or maybe he misunderstood what I'm selling altogether, but that would be his loss. Let's go find out. All right, so deal done. The person purchasing the center flip-up seat is actually a viewer of the channel, and super nice guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he, just as suspected, he fit the thing into a backpack, and they are gonna ride home to Boston like that. So shout out to him. Here's the picture. I said I got to take a picture of you with basically a center console in your backpack there. So if it's a nice day for a ride, I don't blame you. But that is every vehicle, I think, except for the wife's Q5, which, I don't know, maybe we don't need to drive that thing. We'll see. And the twin turbo C6 Z06. So let's get back, take that thing for a rip. The day is really getting away from me here. So let's get back and do that. Quite the collection out here. Still got a couple left. Just because we're here, And, you know, never shown it on the channel, but I mean, why would I? This is the wife's Audi Q5. It's a 2020. We bought it new, right? Basically during COVID. And ordered it with the brown interior. So white with the brown interior. I think it's Premium Plus package or something like that. So it's got the pano roof. Good for what it is. Or it was great until about 6 months ago when we went and put our first car seat in here. Well, it's not in there right now, but basically the car seat comes up to right here. So this seat can go back no farther than this right there, which seems fine until I get in here at 6 feet tall. And yeah, my knees are in the dash. So I can either ride uncomfortably. Whoa. Big bank. Phew. Any plane experts? What is that like beluga whale noise that thing just made mid-turn? Is that like the landing gear coming up, squeaking or something? I don't know. Anyways, this car has been great. It gets good fuel mileage. It's comfortable. You know, it's an Audi. But I can either ride uncomfortably or I can drive. And this is my wife's car, so she does drive most of the time that we are in this car. So long story short, we are kind of looking for a bigger car. It's got 40, she works from home 100% of the time, and where we live in New Hampshire, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, has basically everything. So we sometimes go weeks at a time without even getting on the highway. We don't need, everything we need is right here. So this thing has, I think, we take it on every trip we go on, and I think it still only has like 44,000 miles on it or something like that. So where I'm going with this is I'm wondering if I sell this or trade it in and get something else. And I cannot stop looking at the SQ7. So, you know, the Q7 is the bigger SUV from the Q5, and the SQ7, so it's, you know, bigger rear doors, so hopefully the passenger like myself can ride in the front seat without their knees in the dash. And of course the SQ7 has the twin turbo, what is it, 4-liter? It's the same engine that's in the Lamborghini Urus. Like 500 horsepower. Does my wife need that? No, she drives like an old lady. Lots of planes today. Do I want it? Yep. So, I don't know. Looking for a bigger SUV. We'll see what I end up getting. Anyways, saved the best for last. Just kidding. I don't even know if I have a favorite vehicle, but this is the vehicle that I've owned the longest. This vehicle has been with me longer than anything else you see in this driveway. I bought this car out of Texas in 2016. Oh yeah, there's the inspection sticker that I saved from it. 2016, his vanity plate was Slow ZO. It had 11,000 miles on it. It was a heads cam car. In 2017, I did a bigger cam, bigger heads, 2-inch ARH headers, you know, Borla or Corsa exhaust, I can't remember, high compression, rowdy LS7 setup. I'll put in an exhaust clip of that here. Then in 2021, winter of 2020 into 2021, I think it was, I did the twin turbo build that I've always wanted to do on this car. Built a Gen 4 5.3 with forged everything, ARP everything, basically a 12 to 1400 horsepower ready, long block, trick flow heads. I mean, what am I doing? Let's show you. You know, you can't even see, that's the best part about this build, is that it almost, if you're not looking for it really, other than some painted stuff, it really doesn't look like too much. I painted the intake manifold. That's actually Ford Sonic Blue. These are the same smooth valve covers that I just used on the WS6 that I've used on the Camaro. My coils are in the fenders here. Got this charge pipe that could be mistaken for just an intake pipe. I guess the massive blue blow-off valve kind of gives it away. Treadstone intercooler. The manifolds are LS3 manifolds, and I custom built the entire hot side. The entire build is on YouTube. These were like my first YouTube videos, so they probably are terrible, but if you guys are interested in that build, it's all on YouTube on my channel. Winter of 22. Maybe I can link a playlist here, but GTX 3582R Garrett turbos in each fender, 3-inch exhaust all the way back, E85 ready. This thing made 1,067 horsepower on like E50 at like 20 PSI, so really not even that much boost yet. I said, let's stop there and see if I can even put that power down, which I really haven't. I got this drag pack up here, Mickey Thompson ET Street R's, I think those are, and then the skinnies. Which way are we doing here? This way, skinnies. But those have like no miles on them. Basically, when I finished this car, I really got the YouTube channel going, started buying more cars, building more cars, and it hasn't had that many miles since I finished the twin turbo build. We put an alternator in it in December, right before I put the car away. I put 12 miles on this thing last summer because I took it to Cars and Coffee early in the season, the alternator died, and then it just sat and collected dust all summer. So, hoping to drive this car more this summer, but we'll see. Anyways, let's fire it up. Just got the tender on it a couple hours ago. Let's fire it up, make sure that everything's good, and take it for a rip. Oh boy, I replaced that alternator, but that battery is the same battery that has been in the car since I bought it in 2016. So at least 9 years old. It might be the original battery in this car from 2008. So dash is lit up. TAC is not working. I've never seen that before. Figures, go to film something, it does something it's never done before. What if we just do the old turn it off and then turn it back on? Will that get us anywhere? No. Well, maybe we need to drive it down the road to charge up the battery. Let's go with that. He likes it. Oh, we're losing daylight fast. Gotta keep this going. Here she is though, in all her beauty. This car also has ZR6X extra wide body rear quarters. They're 1.5 inches wider than your factory Z06 quarters. Custom in-curve 20x13 rear wheels to, match flush with the fender, the quarter. God, rusty rotors. It's my baby though. All right, quick rip. Nothing crazy, we're on old fuel in here. The TAC is back, check engine light is still there. 21,724 miles. I've put 10,000 miles on this thing in, what is that, 9 years? Most of those miles were in the first 5 years too. The best part about this car is those turbos. You can hear them in the fenders. The other best part about this car is how easy it drives. Literally zero cam surge, even though it's got a pretty big cam. It's nothing compared to the Brian Tooley Stage 4 I had when this thing was an LS7. Hydraulic clutch, obviously. It's a triple disc monster, so it drives like a factory Honda Civic, but can hold 1,500 horsepower, or whatever the torque rating is on this thing. Oh, every time I drive this car, love it. Guy liked it too. I basically straight pipe this thing, and at certain RPMs it drones quite a bit, so I'll lug it around in fourth right now, but I've kind of gone back and forth on selling this car, man. I never drive it, and it really needs to go on the highway for you to appreciate it. You know, this thing is a highway monster. It makes a ton of power. You get it in the higher gears, and I just rarely have the chance to do that, but every time I say that, I then take it out and drive it like right now, and I hear the noises it makes, you know, shift through the gears, the turbos, the exhaust, everything just, and the C6 Z06 is just a timeless design, especially this one. Was my dream C6 Z06 back in the day. It had to be black, murdered windows, black wheels, blue calipers. They're actually the factory ZR1 caliper color from that year, or from the C6 ZR1. Twin turbos, cammed, 6-speed. I mean, it's just about as bad as it gets for a C6 Z06, or a C6 in general, in my opinion. But so point being, every time I drive it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can sell this thing. It does need a couple things. It's got that oil leak that we talked about when we did the alternator that has basically been leaking since I finished the build. And part of me thinks that maybe I should do coilovers while I'm in there fixing that leak, because I basically need to take that whole C6 transverse leaf spring thing off to get to it. But I don't know. Maybe I got to take this thing to the track. Maybe I just need to drive it more often now that the alternator appears to actually be working. Still haven't scanned this check engine light. I'm sure it has something to do with the dead battery. I need another wideband sensor in this thing, and this thing has been through like 6 different wideband sensors. Other than that though, this car has always been good, and it always gets a ton of looks. It breaks necks. I mean, it just breaks necks everywhere it goes. The sounds, the looks, everything. Got the boost controller stealth mounted in the I don't even know what you call this thing, where the cigarette lighter would be. So this is the Cortex EBC, so it's a boost by gear. Spent a good amount of money and a good amount of time wiring up and tuning this thing, but basically with a factory ECU it allows us to have boost by gear, which comes in handy when you have, you know, 1,200 horsepower basically. But right now, and for the past few years actually, this car has just been running on 93 octane. So I basically have it at like 10 pounds of boost, which is way more than these 6 or 7 or 8-year-old, I think they're 8-year-old Toyos on here, can put down. So maybe this summer I'll actually get some E85 back in the tank, crank it up to 20 PSI and get the drag pack back on it. This thing is an absolute rocket ship. I'll put in a clip right now from a couple years ago of like a 3-4 pole no lift shift on the highway. Easily the fastest thing I've ever been in and ever driven, and it's mine, and I built it with my own 2 hands in my garage. Woo! second gear does. Probably just spin, but you know, just for fun. Immediately boils though. What was that? 7.9 pounds of boost. This boost controller is awesome. I don't know if there's anything better out there nowadays. This was 2021, but this Cortex EBC is badass. Alright, let's get this thing back to the garage before it's dark. And I'd like to try and line up all my vehicles, get a sick thumbnail for this video. I've never had everything outside at once, never got a picture of everything, so let's see if I can coordinate it. Good news is the baby is going to bed right now, so the wife is going to be thrilled that I'm firing everything up and shuffling around the driveway, but she'll forgive me, right? Probably. Alright, let's do it. Oh my goodness. I've always wanted to do this. Got all of them out here. Even the Marauder, the YZ back there. Shout out to my wife for getting on this sketchy ass ladder to get the thumbnail. This is an as seen on TV jab if I've ever seen one. Well, there it is, guys. There is every single one of my vehicles and, you know, toys for the most part. As far as what might be for sale, I don't know. I really don't think anything right now. This one is already sold, obviously. This one is likely going to be a flip, but it should be an awesome project, but we'll see. The Lightning, I don't know. Don't really want to sell that. I say I want to sell this and then I drive it. Don't want to anymore. Talked about the Benz, talked about that. This one, who knows? 69 Camaro, no plans to sell that. I am out of daylight and my phone is literally gonna die any second now. So let me know what you guys thought of this video. Like I said, I've wanted to do one of these for the longest time. Just drive everything, talk about everything, fleet update. This is it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite vehicle in the fleet is, and let me know if I should do more of these as the fleet kind of evolves. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. All right, we got everything back in. Safe from the rain tonight. And the little nanny cam above my son's crib said sound alert triggered, aka like it detected the baby is making noise when he is sound asleep. So good news is, I think it was the C6 Z06 when it starts was loud enough to have the nanny cam detect the sound, but my son slept through it, so I'll take that as a win. Catch you guys later.